Morning. This is the lesson for May 26th, if we were in class, for Kcpc, VEN4, Unit 9, Part 1. Remember, if you have any compositions that you want to have me correct or look at, please send them to cmwicher@bellsouth.net. And the next composition will be on an environmental problem. And this would be a short composition, actually. So let's get started. What I would like to do is go to workbook on page 132, workbook, page 132. In the bottom of the page, it says connectors of cause and effect. Everyone, English has many words and phrases to signal cause, which is the reason for something, and the effect, which is the result of what happens when the reason for something happens. Although the meanings of these words and phrases are similar, their forms are different. So the first words are since and because. Use these words in dependent clauses to signal the cause of something, why something happened. Use a comma when the dependent clause is at the beginning of the sentence. Example, everyone? Since the earth is getting warmer, the sea level is rising. Or, because the earth is getting warmer, comma, the sea level is rising, period. If you put it at the end, there's no need for the comma. So it is going to be, the sea level is rising since the earth is getting warmer. Or, the sea level is rising because the earth is getting warmer. No commas. Next, so and therefore. These words signal an effect, not the cause of something, not the cause of the effect, but the effect itself. They come at the beginning of a main clause. They are followed by a comma. The example, the earth is getting warmer. So the sea level is rising. Actually, so, comma, the sea level is rising. Next, the earth is getting warmer, period. Therefore, comma, the sea level is rising. Okay, so we started to practice on this on page 107 in this workbook. Use part 4, combine or rewrite the sentences. Use connectors. So we did the first 4, and I would like to finish the last 4. And actually, it's good to have a time pass in between to review something. Because if you review it one day later, you remember it. If you review it one day later, plus 3 days later, you remember it a lot better. And if you review it one day later, 3 days later, and 1 week later, you will probably remember it for a long, long time. And right away. Okay, number 4. Cause, rainwater runs off the mountains, and the effect is there are terrible floods every year. What word do they want you to use to connect? Since. So it's going to be, since rainwater runs off the mountains, there are terrible floods every year. Next, cause. There are terrible floods every year. Effect, many people lose their homes. Sentence, There are floods every year, period. So, comma, many people lose their homes. 6, cause or the reason why something happens. People lose their homes when there are floods. The effect of that is they need a new place to live. Sentence: because people lose their homes when there are floods, comma, they need new places to live. So you have to explain the cause before you give the reason in this situation. Number 7, cause. People need to find new places to live. Effect: animals are losing their natural habitats. The connector that they want you to use is therefore. So we read that therefore you have a sentence with a period, either so and therefore with a comma, and the rest of the sentence. So it's going to be, people need to find new places to live. Therefore, comma, animals are losing their natural habitats. And I forgot to say, people need to find new places to live, period. Beginning of a new sentence, therefore, comma, animals are losing their natural habitats, period. Okay, so we did 107, and what I would like us to do is go to the board because that was connected to this. We read the fable, All Things Are Connected, and we were talking about what fables are. And at the end of each fable, there is usually a maxim or a saying. And I wanted to review the meaning of the vocabulary word maxim. So a maxim or a saying is a general truth that has usually been passed down through from one generation to the next. And people say it in their families all the time when something happens. So one of these maxims or sayings would be never give up. What is it? That's right, never give up. Next, work hard, play hard. What is it? Good. Work hard, play hard. Number 3, be content with what you have. What is it? That's right. Be content with what you have. Number 4, there's always a way. What is it? That's right. There's always a way. Number 5, lead by example. What is it? That's right. Lead by example. Next, don't cut off your nose to spite your face. What is it? That's right. Don't cut off your nose to spite your face. So what does that mean? It means if you overreact to something, you're going to spoil the entire effect of what you're trying to do. So overreacting is like cutting off your nose, but then it ruins your face. So you certainly don't want to do that. Okay, so that ends that particular section of what we were doing here. Now I would like you to please take out your student book and open to page 118. We're going to do this a little differently than the order that they have in the book. We're going to do the vocabulary, read this, and then go back and do section 1 because there's vocabulary that I want to see whether you know, can easily draw from your memory, or will discuss and find them. So it says, read the paragraph. The little red box here first, please. One way to organize a paragraph is to discuss the causes and effects of a problem. So this is continuing on with what we just went over, cause and effect. Everyone, the causes and effects of smog. Smog is a serious environmental problem in my city. So, what is the word? Environmental. Environment. Environmental. Let's read it again. Smog is a serious environmental problem in my city. One cause is that there are too many cars on the roads and highways. Most of the cars have only one person, the driver. People seem to take a lot of unnecessary trips. What is that word? Unnecessary. Repeat, please. The sentence, people seem to take a lot of unnecessary trips. Next, they drive to the drugstore instead of walking 2 blocks. Another cause of smog in my city is that we use too much electricity. Since many homes are not energy efficient, our city's power plant has to produce more electricity. Let's stop here. Energy efficient. Notice how they have spelled this word. It has a hyphen. It's not one word and it's not 2 separate words. They're linked by a hyphen. Notice how they're spelling efficient. Double F, E-F-F-I-C-I-E-N-T. Efficient. What is it? Energy efficient. Let's read this sentence one more time, please. Since many homes are not energy efficient, our city's power plant has to produce more electricity. The burning coal from the power plant produces more air pollution. Stop, please. Burning. There's an R in there. It's not bunning. It's not bucking. It's burning. That R sound comes from way back here in the back of your throat. Burn. What is it? Together, burn. The word here, burning. Okay, let's read that sentence again, please. The burning coal from the power plant produces more air pollution. Next, the smog is thick, so the air is hard to breathe. Notice how they spell breathe, B-R-E-A-T-H-E. Without the E, it's breath. Taking in a breath, but this word is breathe with an E. The next word is consequently. Everyone? Consequently. So what word does consequently come from? That's right, consequence. So what is a consequence? Cause and effect. Right, it is the effect. It is the effect of a particular cause. So let's read. Consequently, on many days it is unsafe for children and senior citizens to be outside. Next, smog also kills many trees and plants that produce oxygen and clean the air. If people drove less and used less electricity, I am sure our air quality would improve. So this is a different kind of organizer to create a paragraph or a composition. We talked about bullet points, main ideas, but this is actually very much more detailed. So the first bubble is the problem. And here, what is the problem? That's right, smog. Then they're talking about cause and effect. But under cause, they have also listed the details for each cause. So the more details you have, the stronger your argument is going to be for whatever it is that you are trying to argue about. So 2 causes, 4 details, and 3 effects. So let's go through and try to fill out this particular graph. Problem, smog. First sentence, smog is a serious environmental problem in my city. Next sentence, one cause is that there are too many cars on the roads and highways. So under that cause, they have too many cars. Next, most of the cars have only one person, the driver. So what would it be? People seem to take a lot of unnecessary trips. Cause, one driver, or unnecessary trips. Next, the driver to the drugstore, they drive to the drugstore instead of walking 2 blocks. Detail, most cars, only one person. Detail, drive, not walk. Next sentence. Another cause of smog in my city is that we use too much electricity. Detail, use too much electricity. Next, since our homes are not energy efficient, our city's power plant has to produce more electricity. Next, the burning coal from the power plant produces more pollution. So a detail, burning coal. Burning coal produces air pollution. Next, the smog is thick, so the air is hard to breathe. What is the effect? Air hard to breathe. Next, consequently, on many days, it is unsafe for children and senior citizens to be outside. Effect? Unsafe for seniors and children to be outside. Next sentence, smog also kills many trees and plants that produce oxygen and clean the air. Another effect, kills many trees and plants. The rest, if people drove less and used less electricity, I'm sure our air quality would improve. So it's not just the effect that these particular things do, but it's also the manufacturing of all the parts and equipment that goes into making all these things. For example, concrete, to create concrete uses a lot of power to manufacture concrete. Steel probably uses the same kind of power and creates smog in the manufacturing of whatever it is that they're trying to create there. Okay, so what we're going to do when we come back is look at vocabulary words that are related to environmental problems and in nuclear power plants. So think about that. vocabulary for nuclear power plants and pollution and environmental problems.